All right, bro, I need your help.
All right, it's good. I'm glad you said that because I was about to talk about how Stephen Hawking was on the Jeffrey Epstein list, and people are cracking jokes about how did Stephen Hawking get on Jeffrey Epstein list, and how was he in some sort of underage threesome? You know, Stephen Hawking, he couldn't walk. And he couldn't stand, and he couldn't. So everybody's like,
this is not what we don't need this. We don't need this.
This way Shani needs to say, yo, chill, bro.
Yeah, Shani, this should be your yo, chill spot.
Yo, chill.
It was like, yo, how is Stephen Hawking in that room? What is happening?
Yo, chill.
Yeah, no, yo, chill. No, this is a music conversation that I think it's a very specific thing. Kast, please let me and Ebro discuss it because I know Kast is going to come and disagree with me just because he will like to do that. But I really think, Ebro, you and I will be in lockstep.
All right.
Here we go.
I just put up a post on my Instagram page. I actually had to delete it and repost it because I put up one with curses. But I noticed before I deleted it and reposted it.
Why you can't curse on Instagram?
I try not to have I had 2 big F-bombs in it. I try not to drop big F-bombs on the gram.
Does that mess up the algorithm or something?
I don't know, but I just feel like I don't know who watches my stories and my stuff. I don't know. I'm a corporate hack. Who knows? Okay. But anyways, I noticed initially the comments though were the Kanye stans were coming for me early.
Okay. About what'd you say now? Well, see, here's the thing. You're also getting into a weird space where 2 weeks in a row or at least multiple days in a row, you're on some Kanye.
No, and anytime I now bring up Kanye, people are mad at me for bringing up, why are you bringing up old stuff? It's been a full 2 weeks since she mentioned Hitler. Calm down, and I get it. I should be over it.
Well, no, he put out his Hebrew apology, though.
Right, and I didn't accept the Hebrew apology. The chat. Let's be clear. The Chat GPT apology translated to Hebrew.
The Chat GPT Hebrew apology.
Right, and people are mad that I didn't just say, "Oh, you know what? We're all good now."
Listen, man, he gets a E for effort, or is it A for effort? Whatever.
No, this would be an E for effort. If you did Chat GPT and just translated it to Hebrew, that's an E for effort. So. But it's not about that. This is about music. I said on the One At podcast this week, and Syfe disagreed with me, but I said, of all the things that disappoint me about Kanye, the fact that my man is at a stage in his career where musically he thinks the move is just to replay Backstreet Boys is incredibly disconcerting for me.
Well, so wait. What do you mean replay? He didn't sample it? I thought it was a sample.
Nah, they couldn't clear it. It's resung, but it's the same thing. It's a verbatim, word for word. So
they did an interpolation or a cover, if you will.
Correct. But to me, and I admit I'm not going to back down on this one. Hip hop sampling the most overt commercial pop music and repurposing it has never been hot to me. That to me is not what the essence of sampling is. The essence of sampling to me is about taking something, either flipping it creatively, so you take something that you thought you heard one way, and now you make it go a different way.
Oh, this is we get super nerdy now. That was newer. This is super podcasty nerdy right here.
Or you take something that people didn't know before, which is, by the way, something Kanye used to be amazing at,
and you bring us into something we hadn't heard before because you're like, oh, what sample is that?
But taking the song that rings off at every wedding for 45-year-old white people and just re-singing it, to me, that's not hot at all. And I cannot be convinced otherwise. But go ahead, Kast.
That's it. That's the point.
Wait, Kast, I thought he said he didn't want you in on this.
Well, I know you're going to feel.
No. I mean, I get what you're saying, but that right there, what you said, was kind of dope about doing that. About taking a sample that 45-year-old, that's not so much that hip-hop at the time would think was corny, and then now making it, that's kind of fire the way they used it. That's hip-hop.
Well, if it's the way they used it. Now, listen, in all fairness, even to Kanye, in all fairness, we haven't heard the song officially, so maybe I'll hear it and go, oh, he did something different. But in the clip that went around, they literally just sing the song.
The problem you're having, Rosenberg, and the reason why I don't even know if I can help you on Instagram, which was the way you framed this, is the fact that you are now officially just a Kanye hater.
Oh, that's not fair.
Well, I know it's not fair because I know you're a Kanye stan.
Big stan.
You're such a stan that you're so upset right now that the way this is playing out. So, but for everybody on the internet, you're just a Kanye hater. And you're a Jew.
Oh, boy.
So anything you say can and will be used against you on the internet.
But fundamentally, if this goes back, and I hear everything you're saying.
So now I'm with you though, because what was the Drake Future song that just was semi-popular? They had a hit with Kast One.
Sexy.
Too
disgusting.
Sexy. Couldn't stand it. Hated it. There was another one though.
Yeah, that one was bad though. That wasn't. They didn't.
But I'm saying they didn't. It wasn't creative. It wasn't creative, and it wasn't dope.
And Syph tried to throw at me in the argument. He's like, you didn't like when Lil Wayne and Eminem used the "What Is Love"? I was like, nope.
That song sucked too.
It was
that song sucked.
Nah, it was. I mean, listen, and they actually did try to do something different. They took a dance record and they slowed it down into a completely slow, kind of sad song. I still hated it though.
Yeah.
My point is, like, I just don't think it's creative to be like, oh, since everybody sings that song, we know it'll work if we just play the same song. Ebro, I hated it when Mace and Diddy did it with Kool and the Gang, and that was Kool and the Gang, not Backstreet Boys. And I hated "Feel So Good."
Yeah, I didn't Feel So Good either.
You're just going to replay a pop hit, and we're supposed to consider that dope? Like, that's just not what it was supposed to be. That's not what sampling is supposed to be.
I don't even want to say. I don't even want. There's just see, because for instance, Juicy is just a replay,
and it's fire.
And it's fire.
More Money, More Problems. People hate it, but it's
more money, more problems is a chop though, and it has a little bounce to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and Juicy's different too, because even though Juicy beat-wise is essentially a replay, and they just flipped the hook, the whole rap song about that is just him rapping on a beat that wasn't originally a rap song. It was turning an R&B song into a rap record.
Yeah, so there was a loop,
etc.
There was a loop to it.
So you just
it's not just going.
So you just like them taking a pop record and making it a rap record.
Yes, that bothers me. Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Britney Spears, the idea that we would live in an era now where, like, it would be dope to do that. And if I'm the bad guy for saying it because I'm still the backpacker who's going, nope, that's not dope, then let that be my legacy, because that ain't dope. It's just not. That is not it. Now, maybe we'll hear the song, and like I said, it'll be flipped, and we'll all say, hey, you know what? I was wrong. But off top, you tell me you're sampling Backstreet Boys, I'm saying go try again.
Well, and I just want to remind you, Rosenberg, to be the first to remind you, because you know what they're going to do. You're a culture vulture. You're a guest in this house. You have no opinion. You're white.
How dare you?
How dare you? So let me just be let me just be the first to hand that off to you, and also say that I mostly agree with you, but there is still room to make it dope. I got to hear the finished product.
Yeah, exactly.
But there are plenty of instances, as we just laid out, where just lazily taking a pop record and thinking because you're just going to rhyme over a pop record, that's going to be the answer. The pop record, by definition, not just popular, but was a quintessential sonic, display of trying to make a pop sound, is even more cheeseball. Because that Backstreet Boys record is super cheeseball.
Can anyone give me an example of where it definitively worked? Where someone took the pop song, sampled it straight, and it played, and it lasted the test of time. It's still good.
That depends what you mean by work, because Lotto did it a couple of years ago, and it worked big, like it was a big record.
That Mariah record,
like it, right? But not even that. It was what's the original sample?
Tom Tom Club.
Tom Tom Club. So they just
Genius of Love.
Tom Tom Club,
I mean, it's weird. It's weird because I only know the Tom Tom Club record as a sample within hip hop first. Was it a huge pop record? I don't know.
It was. The original was a big hit.
Yeah, it was.
It was a big pop hit. None of us lived it. I guess it's different. I didn't live Tom Tom Club being
Genius of Love. Yeah.
I only lived it being sampled in old school hip hop.
What about MC Hammer? You Can't Touch This.
With the Rick James.
That was a big pop record, right?
But the twist there was Hammer took it pop. Mm-hmm. Rick James had a hit. Hammer, when You Can't Touch This, can't touch this. Which is why when Nicki Minaj re-chopped the Rick James, people and it was a pop. What was that record? She just did it.
Oh, I got one. And we all hated this record. We all hated this record, but it worked. T.I. and Rihanna, Live Your Life.
Nothing, not a song I hate more on planet Earth. I am so consistent.
I told you, we all hated it, but it worked. We hated it.
Every song you just mentioned, Kast, that is a good example. The funniest thing is the examples that Kast dropped, which were reasonable examples, are literally songs that people could barely recover from. Can't Touch This changed Hammer's life, and also in some ways is the bane of his existence.
Right.
And he never escaped it because it was seen as so whack. Then he brought up the Fire David Bowie sample and Queen getting used by who? The least respected artist in hip-hop history, Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It doesn't often work in the long run.
But that Ice Ice Baby was hard when it dropped, though.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That Ice Ice Baby was ringing on.